up to 25%.
LAUER Auto Repair, located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota. Give them a call at 701-258-6308. The team of mechanics at LAUER Auto can take care of any problem your vehicle is having. And when you do business with LAUER, you can be assured you're doing business with a pro Second Amendment America First repair shop. There are plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area. But why take a chance at patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake. LAUER Auto is your pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at LAUER Auto, don't forget to tell them that you heard they are a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our pro Second Amendment, pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's LAUER Auto Repair, 701-258-6308. 701-258-6308. Located 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Experience the exhilaration of power in your hands at Bloodline Kinetics. Why Cerakote? Simply, it aids in firearm preservation while also giving your piece a unique look. Barrel threading, NFA laser engraving, bolt handle threading, mount, level, and bore, sight scope chamber rebarreling, and much more. Bloodline Kinetics is meant to reflect a long American lineage in gun ownership, who stand for the Second Amendment rights, Bloodline, and the science behind gun accuracy. Kinetics. To some, it's just a constitutional right that can go away. To us, it's in our American bloodline, and we believe it should stay that way. Here at Bloodline Kinetics, we understand that hunters, sportsmen, women, and gun owners should have a quality firearm. Stop and see us at 2008 Morrison Avenue 2 in Bismarck, North Dakota, 58504, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call 701-390-7997. Visit our website, bloodlinekinetics.com.
Anvil Brand LLC, raising and training tomorrow's barrel horses right out of Bismarck, North Dakota. Tracy and her family are great American patriots who not only support the Second Amendment, but they also promoted what you're looking for, top quality barrel horses. Go ahead and give Tracy a call at 701-471-6629 and tell them Guns and 701.com sent you. That's Anvil Brand LLC out of Bismarck, North Dakota.
Like Michael, the flow like Aubrey. Walk around thinking I'm a prince like Saudi. Mismatched Converse, t-shirts tucked in. Know my worth, can't tell me nothing. White Nikes, albino, pink
kind of place. You see, Qdoba's famous 3-cheese queso and their handcrafted guac are free on any entree. All day, every day. Order a burrito, add free queso. Grab in a bowl, add free guac. Heck, you can add both to your entree. It's free after all. Come on in or order online. Qdoba, a break from the ordinary. Extra portions of guac and queso subject to charge.
Hey folks, Larry Older here. By now, you're probably hearing a lot about why refi. You may also have seen my commercials on Newsmax and on Fox News. So, what's going on? How is it that investors all over the country are earning a fixed rate of return of 10.25% and they don't care what happens with the stock market or the Fed? Well, let's start with facts. It's true there's no attack on your principal if you ever need your money back. And yes, it's true that you're in control. You can let your investment compound daily or take income, whatever you choose, and there are absolutely no fees. And yes, it's true that in Denver only, YRefi has partnered with Advanced Investments, who can meet with you personally to see if YRefi is right for you. Call 888-973-3923. That's 888-973-3923. Or log on to investyrrefi.com/Denver. That's invest, the letter Y, then REFY.com/Denver. And make sure to tell them that Larry Older sent you.
819 to KFYR Guns in the 701. Clay's here, and it's a good thing it's not the Old West. Oh, Clay, call me back. We got a horrible line here. Call me right back. I didn't realize how bad that line was. Yeah. I'm thinking that... Oh, that sounds a lot better. There we go.
Lots better. Yeah, I kind of thought that too when I first heard it.
My gosh. Every once in like one like 1 in 100 calls just gets weird ever since we went to VoIP. I don't know what's going on, but
it's hard to say.
As I was about to say, if this were the Old West, Clay would be rounding up a posse right now and heading to SoCal and trying to find that arsonist riding his motorcycle with a lit torch.
I'll tell you what.
That sounds like something in the
crazy.
Babylon Bee or the Onion or something. I mean, that just, it sounds so surreal, like that would actually happen, but it did.
It did. It's just devastating out there. I can't believe what I've been seeing, but I do know a little bit about, fighting fire, especially wildland fires, and if you don't take care of the fuels, if you don't manage things, this is what happens when some idiot goes out there and decides to go ahead and be an arsonist. But yeah, that's a whole other rabbit hole to go down.
Well, no doubt, but I mean, could you imagine somebody being dumb enough to do that around here? If you saw somebody riding around where there's already wildfires and you get a lit torch?
Wouldn't be smart.
I think everybody would be grabbing their fire extinguishers and dousing it and him, but that's a whole different discussion.
Yeah, I mean, you look at hunting seasons around here, and we tell people when it's dry, please, stay on the trails. Don't be driving through the fields. Don't be driving through the pastures because you know what? You might start a fire. So yeah,
don't start a campfire. Well, if you shouldn't start a campfire, guess what? You shouldn't start a mobile fire either.
That's right.
I heard that this morning. I'm like, are you kidding? Oh my God, this is shocking. So anywho, on to other business. Guns in the 701. So it turns out if we were doing this show in Teddy's day or Teddy were alive today, he'd probably be on the show with his silencer, huh?
Yeah, I thought this was an interesting article. Jamie is actually the one that told me about it. Well, that would be a good Friday segment. Yeah, old TR. Big fan of silencers, we find out. And think about this. You're talking about the turn of the century, 1900s, early 1900s. And, as everybody knows, he was a big collector of firearms, especially loved his Winchesters, loved to go hunting. He went to Africa. Well, when he went to Africa, he actually took his suppressors or silencers along, but he started using them the way it sounded when he was on his estate in Long Island, New York, of all places. Imagine that, New York. Now we got other issues going on there. That's a whole other story, too. But
turn that gun down. That's too loud.
yeah, he was using it to call pests. Well, I mean, we've all done that here out in rural America. I mean, we get rid of the pests around here, too, but don't have to worry too much about the neighbors where I live. But out there, he lived next to DuPont's and Tiffany's. I'm sure everybody's heard of Tiffany's. That's
I buy all my stuff there.
Yeah, I bet. Anyway, so he was using a suppressor because he didn't want to disturb the neighbors. Now, think about this. It's not an evil thing, a suppressor, and it's been demonized in movies. It's been demonized by the left for whatever reason. It's not a horrible thing. It's just an attachment that goes on your rifle or your pistol, suppresses sound. This is not a hard concept, right? I mean, I do not understand the pushback all the time on the other side that does not want to deregulate and remove suppressors from the NFA.
It's called people who see too many movies and think it's just a bunch of murderers that go around with those things.
Well,
although I suppose some people are going to call Teddy a murderer now because he shot a rat with a silencer, but whatever.
Maybe. The animal rights would get on him now.
Does PETA protect rats? Do they protect rodents?
I found it interesting that, in 1909, 1910, right in that area, that Maxim, which they were a muffler company, and interestingly, I went and looked up, they're still in business today, and they're still making mufflers for an array of items, generators, vehicles, high industry, stationary motors. I mean, it's kind of interesting that 125 some years later, that company's still in business, and Teddy got onto this. They started making them for rifles. They were offset, which was kind of cool. Hangs below the barrel, so you could still use your iron sights. And Teddy suppressed his .405 Winchester. Now, that's a pretty heavy cartridge, and rightfully so. He needed that in Africa. He also had one on his .30 government there, his 30-30. So, I mean, when you look at what he did there, Teddy Roosevelt, probably one of the first guys that used the suppressor, used it extensively on his hunt, especially over in Africa, way back 100-plus years ago. And that just was kind of unheard of. I mean, these things were available. You could buy them anywhere, rightfully so. And then I kind of liked how the article pointed out that, FDR, who everybody thinks is a great president, I do not, but he is the one guy that made silencers expensive and basically had them regulated so that, and that's why the $200 tax stamp exists, because $200 back then was a lot of money, and it made it pretty much impossible for anybody that was common to even possess one. And when you go look at the legislative, history, for lack of a better term, I was kind of combing through that. They were right in the article. There's actually no history legislatively as to why the FDR administration did that.
Because he knew we'd need the money later on, but it still didn't work.
It still didn't work, did it?
Thanks, FDR. You tried to keep the budget balanced, but didn't work out that well, at least not this late in the game.
And I kind of thought it was neat that Teddy Roosevelt, he's kind of linked to North Dakota, spent some time out here hunting as well. I couldn't find much information as to whether he brought those firearms here. I imagine he did. I can't imagine that he didn't. Can you picture Teddy out there around the Badlands, out there hunting his buffalo and whatever else he was hunting?
I'm still picturing him hunting rodents with a 405. And if it takes down an elephant, it's going to take down the little rat that's crawling by the fence.
It'll definitely accomplish that. Like a little
It'll take down the rat by the fence 3 blocks away if you can find it, but yeah.
Just don't hit the fence post, too. We've been talking about having a state gun, and we were kind of talking about having the lever action Winchester as the state rifle, which seemed to be in our polling that me and Jamie did for Guns in 701, that seemed to be the most popular firearm. So, I don't know, I just thought it kind of all tied in together. Plus, I know that there's what they call it, the Protecting Americans' Right to Silence Act, the PARTS Act. That was introduced last year, actually, around November. Of course, now it's a new Congress. And that essentially will make it so that we don't need the $200 tax stamp, and we can buy suppressors, without all of the paperwork you need today. And it's a great act, and I'd like to put it out there that we need to kind of press Congress to do it. If there's any chance to get it passed now, it's going to be at this moment, because we have a Republican House, we have a Republican Senate, and we have a president who will actually sign that bill. So, if Representative Fedorchak or Representative Johnson down in South Dakota, they need to probably get on board with this, probably maybe even introduce it. But it's already been written. It's a pretty simple 1.5 page bill, and they should just bring it back, because that would be a fantastic idea. And there's really no reason not to pass that. There really isn't.
Meanwhile, of all hunting accidents in the land of where they do get this, they do, and I don't know, maybe it's a bunch of other states too, and I just don't know it. Property taxes on your vehicle every year. So I'd be driving the cheapest beater then to keep the property tax bill down. The land of Virginia. Yeah, here's a hunting accident you don't hear about.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Can you imagine you're out bear hunting, and that's what happened here? We're out bear hunting in Landberg County, Virginia. They must have had a bear treed, from what I can understand. I mean, I didn't get much out of the article that I seen, but kind of tried to check it out from the local stuff. There wasn't a lot there either. Essentially, these guys were out bear hunting. There was more than one of them. There was about 2 or 3 the way it sounded. They had the bear treed, which is not uncommon for some states to be able to hunt bears that way. You can use hounds in some states, not all states. Same thing here. You can use hounds in some states to get coons. You can use them to get mountain lions. So this is not uncommon. But they chased the bear. They got it into a tree as the group moved away. Now, I don't know about you, Todd, but if I have a bear in a tree, I'm probably going to move away too, especially if we're going to shoot that bear, because they're not a small
I remember
creature,
canoeing up in the Boundary Waters, and they taught us to climb the tree if we saw a bear. So if the bear's already up there, I'm not going to be anywhere near it. I just think it's usually when you're killed by a bear when you're hunting, killed by a bear usually conjugates a vision of a bear attacking a guy, not just falling on a guy.
Exactly. They shot this bear, and it sounded like this guy's name was Lester Harvey Jr. He was about 10 feet away from the bottom of the tree, which, I don't know. I mean, you might be tall, far enough away, but I imagine if it's out and it's a big tree that's on a big limb, 10 foot probably, well, evidently it wasn't far enough. One of the hunters did provide some first aid to him. He actually was alive when they got him.
The bear or the man?
The man. As far as I know, from everything I learned,
well, the bear probably got hurt too, falling down.
Well, if the shot didn't get him, I'm sure the fall did. It actually wasn't the fall; it was the hit.
Mouth to mouth.
Oh my God! What an image!
I just thought of that. Sorry, guys. I end up with the worst crap in my head now.
Yeah, like I said, now we all have this picture.
Yeah, I know, right?
And the guy giving a mouth-to-mouth to a bear, while the guy lays next to him going, hey, I'm still here.
What are you saving him for? Get me out of here.
They did transport this guy to Richmond. He did die of his injuries, ironically, on Friday, December 13th. So probably not a good day for him, you know. And then Harvey, he was a self-employed contractor. He was an avid outdoorsman. And when I kind of was looking at that, and you can read it, I've actually found the guy's obituary through all this. And it sounded like he was a pretty nice guy. And so it was kind of it was a tragic thing. He had 3 sons and 2 daughters, 8 grandchildren, all full grown. But you know what? I guess the lesson here is please don't stand under trees if you have a bear tree.
Well, here's an idea. Don't stand under a bear.
Don't stand under a bear at all.
I mean, come on here. So in honor of the bear killing the guy outside Richmond, the rich men of Richmond.
People like me. People like you.
Oliver Anthony, who's apparently gotten out of the music business now. Talk about one-hit wonder, but there you go.
Yeah.
Oh, it is.
Clay Peterson, I'm Todd Mitchell. Guns in the 701. We've got more coming up.
It's Mitchell in the Morning, KFYR 550.
Coming up next, we look at the beef herd. Will it start expanding in the 2025 new year or not? Well, the prices the way they're at, some people say not so quickly. We'll look into that next on the Dakota Farm and Ranch Report.
If you're
I love it.
Join the millions already on the new and improved iHeartRadio app.
It's so easy to use.
The live radio dial, presets, scan, plus lyrics, podcasts, and your favorite artists' radio.
Just type it in, and there it is.
Now it's even easier to discover what you love.
I love my presets. Adding presets is so much fun.
This looks really nice.
Just in time for the new year, the new and improved iHeartRadio app. It's everything you love about your car radio in the palm of your hand.
Very cool update. 5 stars, guys.
Your Denver Broncos are back in the playoffs. After battling through the peaks and valleys of a hard-fought regular season.
And intercepted. This is Pastor Dan.
Coach Payton has the Denver Broncos focused on this moment.
To the goal line. Touchdown, Denver.
A moment that all of Broncos country has been waiting for. The Mile High City is ready for the final ascent because this year, the climb continues.
Need inspiration? Shop King Soopers for thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals with savings beyond low prices. Like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. So you can get big flavors and big savings. King Soopers. Fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Save big on your favorites with the Buy 5 or More, Save $1 each sale. Simply buy 5 or more participating items and save $1 each with your card. King Soopers. Fresh for everyone.
Fire.
With the Dakota Farm and Ranch Report, I'm Scott Bachmeyer. The new year brings continued questions about the possible U.S. beef herd expansion. Scott Verlick of KKV Trading says it's tough to hold back heifers to begin that expansion when those heifers are bringing such good money in the operation.
That's the other side. You feel like this is my year to capitalize and to cash in. And for a lot of our older generation ranchers, it's absolutely that. We have such a labor shortage and challenges of our own, higher input costs. So it makes it a little bit easier just to load a few extra on the truck rather than say, I'm going to keep a few extras back. It's a lot easier to send them on along the way. And I think that's why we're at all-time highs.
It's not financially worth it right now for producers to begin expanding their herds.
We haven't had enough of the dollars trickling all the way down to the cow-calf guys. So the market had to say, this is why, we're at high prices because we're unable to do it for this price. And the market's kind of fixing itself. So it's just very frustrating that we have the beef market that we have to raise less numbers to get the market to rally. That's really all that we have. The leverage that the packer has with all the formula cattle. And I think this is your after effects of what's happening from all of that.
It's also appearing that the herd has financially begun to rebuild itself in October.
I really thought that we were too. There was a little bit of a time frame where it was going to happen. And I think that big 5 to 6 week rally really pulled it off. So, and then we have to note as well, it's starting to dry out in some cow-calf country in the north. We'll decide on the south how much rain that looks like. They had a little bit of a boost of moisture there this fall, but if we'd start to dry out, that could be the next thing that's going to curb it and pull it back in again.
Once again, Scott Verlick from KKV Trading with the Dakota Farm and Ranch Report. I'm Scott Bachmeyer.
KFYR, your ag authority.
Attention farmers and ranchers, don't miss the 48th annual KFYR Agri International Expo, February 11th and 12th at the Bismarck Event Center. See the latest in farm and ranch equipment and services, along with free seminars each day. Register for thousands of dollars in prizes, view the farm toy show, or have a cold one in the beer garden. It's all happening at the 47th annual KFYR Agri International Expo, February 11th and 12th at the Bismarck Event Center, sponsored by Farm Credit Services of Mandan, Seafoam, and Runnings.
Looking for the best gun gear for every and any situation? Little Angry Man Arms LLC has you covered. Top-notch guns from top-name brands like Winchester, Glock, Sig Sauer, and Ruger to essential extras from Magpul, Streamlight, Hollow, Sun Optics, and more. Little Angry Man Arms LLC have everything to make your shooting adventures a success. Visit littleangrymanarms.com today and gear up for your next big hunt, competition, or home defense. Don't miss out on our exclusive deals. Little Angry Man Arms LLC, based in Trail City, South Dakota, your ultimate hunting partner.
Out what everyone's talking about and get the new and improved free iHeartRadio app today.
Fire.
This is a Fox News alert. I'm Lillian Wu. Sentencing this morning for President-elect Trump in his criminal hush money case in New York, which he calls a travesty of justice.
This was an attack on the Republican.
LAUER Auto Repair, located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota. Give them a call at 701-258-6308. The team of mechanics at LAUER Auto can take care of any problem your vehicle is having. And when you do business with LAUER, you can be assured you're doing business with a pro Second Amendment America First repair shop. There are plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area. But why take a chance at patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake. LAUER Auto is your pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at LAUER Auto, don't forget to tell them that you heard they are a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our pro Second Amendment, pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's LAUER Auto Repair, 701-258-6308. 701-258-6308. Located 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Experience the exhilaration of power in your hands at Bloodline Kinetics. Why Cerakote? Simply, it aids in firearm preservation while also giving your piece a unique look. Barrel threading, NFA laser engraving, bolt handle threading, mount, level, and bore, sight scope, chamber, rebarreling, and much more. Bloodline Kinetics is meant to reflect a long American lineage in gun ownership, who stand for the Second Amendment rights, Bloodline, and the science behind gun accuracy. Kinetics. To some, it's just a constitutional right that can go away. To us, it's in our American bloodline, and we believe it should stay that way. Here at Bloodline Kinetics, we understand that hunters, sportsmen, women, and gun owners should have a quality firearm. Stop and see us at 2008 Morrison Avenue 2 in Bismarck, North Dakota, 58504, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call 701-390-7997. Visit our website, bloodlinekinetics.com.
Anvil Brand LLC, raising and training tomorrow's barrel horses right out of Bismarck, North Dakota. Tracy and her family are great American patriots who not only support the Second Amendment, but they also promoted what you're looking for, top quality barrel horses. Go ahead and give Tracy a call at 701-471-6629 and tell them Guns and 701.com sent you. That's Anvil Brand LLC out of Bismarck, North Dakota.
Like Michael, the flow like Aubrey. Walk around thinking I'm a prince like Saudi. Mismatched Converse, t-shirts tucked in. Know my worth, can't tell me nothing. White Nikes, albino, pink
Detroit man pleading not guilty to allegations he brought illegal drugs into Bismarck. Police say they got a tip from an informant that Deshaun Houston was traveling via bus into Bismarck. Officers saw a person matching Houston's description enter a rideshare vehicle at a bus station. After officers stopped the car for speeding, Houston was allegedly found with 16 grams of fentanyl and 60 grams of heroin. He's been charged with possession with intent to manufacture or distribute both fentanyl and heroin. Officials in North Dakota urging Power School users to remain vigilant and to report any suspicious activity. Wednesday, the company that stores student information for school districts announced a nationwide data breach. Parents used the software to check students' grades, attendance, and more. According to TechCrunch, hackers were able to access student social security numbers, grades, and medical information. North Dakota Information Technology said it's working with Power School and school districts to assess the scope of the data breach. North Dakota Game and Fish will track hunting and fishing issues during the session. Outdoor enthusiasts can follow proposed outdoor-related bills at gf.nd.gov. It'll be updated daily as legislation is introduced and bills progress through the session. A brief description of each bill will be included. Just click on the bill number. And an audit of the North Dakota State Auditor has found no red flags. A state bill passed in 2023 called for an international accounting firm to evaluate the state office after local governments complained about the cost of the agency's services. Results of the audits were announced yesterday at a meeting of the Fiscal Review Committee in Bismarck, where a spokesperson for the accounting firm said they did not find any red flags of the agency and that things are working exactly as you would expect the state auditor to do. State Auditor Josh Gallion called the audit a waste of taxpayer money. Another cold snap starts Sunday. We may get some snow through tomorrow. Your KFYR AccuWeather forecast is on the way.
Hi, I'm Steve Zahn, General Manager of Pucklet.
Attention farmers and ranchers, don't miss the 48th annual KFYR Agri International Expo, February 11th and 12th at the Bismarck Event Center. See the latest in farm and ranch equipment and services, along with free seminars each day. Register for thousands of dollars in prizes, view the farm toy show, or have a cold one in the beer garden. It's all happening at the 47th annual KFYR Agri International Expo, February 11th and 12th at the Bismarck Event Center, sponsored by Farm Credit Services of Mandan, Seafoam, and Runnings.
Need inspiration? Shop King Supers for thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals with savings beyond low prices. Like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. So you can get big flavors and big savings. King Supers. Fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Save big on your favorites with the Buy 5 or More Save $1 each sale. Simply buy 5 or more participating items and save $1 each with your card. King Supers. Fresh for everyone.
It's just like my car radio on my phone.
Adding presets is so much fun.
Join the millions already on the new and improved iHeartRadio app.
Seeing lyrics in the app is incredible.
It's so easy to use.
Nice job, iHeart.
Find out what everyone's talking about and get the new and improved free iHeartRadio app today.
Here's your AccuWeather forecast. Mostly cloudy skies today, the high at 25. A bit of snow at times late tonight, little or no accumulation, low 22. With temperatures rising into the low 30s throughout the overnight. Snow at times tomorrow, accumulations 1 to 2 inches, and the high at 32. Breezy on Sunday morning, clouds and much colder. The high on Sunday only reaching 6. Plan with confidence. Check out AccuWeather.com today. With your AccuWeather forecast, I'm Steve Williams.
843, northwest wind at 9. It is 19. More guns in the 701 next.
Find your
Attention farmers and ranchers, don't miss the 48th annual KFYR Agri International Expo, February 11th and 12th at the Bismarck Event Center. See the latest in farm and ranch equipment and services, along with free seminars each day. Register for thousands of dollars in prizes, view the farm toy show, or have a cold one in the beer garden. It's all happening at the 47th annual KFYR Agri International Expo, February 11th and 12th at the Bismarck Event Center, sponsored by Farm Credit Services of Mandan, Seafoam, and Runnings.
It's just like my car radio on my phone.
Adding presets is so much fun.
Join the millions already on the new and improved iHeartRadio app.
Seeing lyrics in the app is incredible.
It's so easy to use.
Nice job, iHeart.
Find out what everyone's talking about and get the new and improved free iHeartRadio app today.
This is the iHeartRadio Sports Report.
In the college football playoff in the Capital One Orange Bowl in Miami, Notre Dame secured a 27-24 victory over Penn State with a late interception by Notre Dame's Christian Gray, which set up a 41-yard game-winning field goal by Mitch Jeter with just 7 seconds remaining. Notre Dame's quarterback Riley Leonard led the team on 4 scoring drives in the second half despite a brief injury scare. The game featured multiple lead changes and ties with 31 points scored in the fourth quarter alone. Notre Dame will now compete for their 12th national title against the winner of the Texas-Ohio semifinal, which is tonight at 7:30 Eastern on ESPN. And in the NFL, the league has moved Monday's wildcard playoff game between the Vikings and the Rams to Arizona, saying the decision was made in the, quote, interest of public safety, end quote, as fires continue to do damage in Southern California. I'm Andy West with your iHeartRadio Sports Report.
Need more? Open the free iHeartRadio app for the best sports stations in the country and the most sports podcasts with the biggest personalities in the game on demand.
Guns of the 701 here at KFYR 550 Dakota Mornings with Michael Bell. Coming up after 9, Clay is here. Walmart is asking folks to refrain from open carry, and I'm just thinking that's a place I probably would feel more comfortable having somebody with one if I don't have one, but, you know.
Yeah, they didn't make a policy because they like to make money still, and the last time they even talked about stuff like that, it did hurt their bottom line. And
what would Sam say?
Oh, Sam Walton would be pissed the way the company is.
Yeah.
This is not the company he started.
No, it's kind of not, but well.
Walmart even is moving away from their DEI crap. I heard that here the other day. They're just another one of the corporations that are all of a sudden saying, yeah, we're not going to do this
Everybody
anymore.
but Jaguar learned the hard way, although I guess I haven't seen those Jaguar commercials lately. Did you see those with the guys look like adult Teletubbies or whatever the heck? And,
yeah, you're sitting there going, okay, what do you guys sell, cars, or what do you do here?
Yeah, didn't you guys just watch what Bud Light and everybody went through, what Harley went through? I mean, what are you doing? But anyway,
I just don't get it.
Different
discussion. You used to watch an advertisement, and you used to know exactly what the product was, what it was going to do, and hey, come buy ours because it's the best. No, not anymore. Now it's kind of like, what did they sell?
Well, you would think in the advertising industry, there'd be some, like, I'm picturing a long conference table and a bunch of people around it in suits and stuff, and somebody going, we should really do a DEI thing. Somebody at the table would have to know that it failed as a model even at that time, let alone now.
You would think, yeah.
It's like, I don't know that it's not that diversity is a bad thing, but when you make it your cornerstone, it's proven to not work, don't do it.
Yeah, especially with the stuff they're pushing today. But,
no, it's just it.
But they're finding out it's hurting bottom lines, and even BlackRock pulled out of that environmental social governance, ESG. So it's happening. But anyway, back to Walmart. So I'm not a big fan of theirs anyway, and this is another good reason not to. They didn't say, hey, we're banning it, but they said we kindly refrain from openly carrying a firearm on their sign. And I couldn't find out which state where this one was taken, this picture. I did notice the last time I was in Bismarck. I wanted to see if it was on any of the ones in Bismarck. I did not notice it. So right now their sign doesn't say it, but it was in small print, just kind of there, by their store hours and their pharmacy hours.
Yuma, Arizona, by the way.
Okay, you know more about it than I do.
Well, I just found out, that's all. I have my sources.
There you go. There's only 4 states where open carry is pretty much banned, and that's California, Illinois, New York. Those don't surprise me, but Florida, and that's always been an Achilles heel, you could say there. It's always been a problem, but they're working on it. And ironically, it was the Republicans in Florida that were holding that legislation up. We'll see how they do this year on it. But Walmart is starting. They've done a few things. They've taken away certain guns that they're not going to sell. They've implemented all kinds of different questions they ask above and beyond the 4473. I noticed that a decade ago when I just tried to buy a 22 long rifle. I do not buy my firearms there because I'm not going to go above and beyond the questioning of a 4473. I'm just not going to do that. And nobody should. You don't need to collect that information if you're not being told to as an FFL dealer. But yeah, they decided to put it at their entrance. And I don't know. I have open carried. I had concealed carried. I had an issue with one of the stores in Aberdeen when I was still an NRA rep. And actually, I made some headway there. They removed their sign. They actually had a gun with the no gun slash across it. And they had that posted at their entrance. And, of course, I right away went back to my vehicle and got my firearm and put my open carry on. I had it concealed as well, but I just wanted to make a statement. And we won that battle. That went all the way to Arkansas, out to headquarters, and that restriction was removed in Aberdeen, South Dakota at the time. Walmart is not our friend when it comes to the Second Amendment, regardless of what they say.
I have to admit, though, I'm sympathetic to Walmart or anybody not wanting to sell guns only because of the legal environment we're in. If you bought the gun there and then somebody got killed, accidentally or on purpose, then they get sued. Now, we all know, they weren't the ones. It's the whole spoons made me fat argument. But at the same time,
they're protected federally on that.
Yeah, well, it's
Protection and Lawful Commerce.
It's not going to stop some ambulance chaser from trying. No. And the fact that you got to waste money on lawyers at that point is just just don't do it.
They still sell them though. They still, unfortunately, they're still one of the biggest firearms sellers out there. People quit doing that. Go to your local guys, support them because they support you locally. They also support the Second Amendment, unequivocally. Go to your local places. Go to Mandan Sporting Goods. Go to Shield. Go to any of these guys in the local area in Bismarck. 1760 Sports. I mean, there's tons of them out there. Head out there and talk to them and buy your firearms there. Support the guys that support our Second Amendment because Walmart is not that place.
Probably end up buying better stuff anyway if you did that. So
absolutely, and you'll get this nice rapport with generally the owners that actually appreciate your business. And I don't know. To me, it's a no-brainer. But just
there's Clay on his soapbox again. Look at that.
Yeah.
Guns of the 701. It's Clay here at 8:52 on KFYR. Pregnant mother defends herself and her children from violent ex-partner. You know what? You see that kind of thing all the time where somebody ends up being a crazy, and sometimes you have to defend yourself against a crazy like that.
Yeah, and sometimes, maybe we'll have to do this next Friday. I've got a whole deal about a guy who, he basically says that firearms ownership is feminism to the nth degree, and I do agree with him because it would empower a woman for self-defense. Well, right here's a great example. This is down in Grovetown, Georgia. Police had to respond. It was a domestic dispute, which that happens quite often in situations like this. The lady, she's pregnant carrying this guy's child right now, Devarius Hampton. So when I looked him up, he has a rap sheet that's a bit long. They probably had to put a new ream of paper in to print his rap sheet out the way it looks. But I'm telling you, this guy is not
That's a rap ream at that point.
There you go. So, he came, they ended the relationship, or she did, I suppose, the way it sounded, because he was abusive. And I see he's got a lot of felony charges and warrants out for that exact stuff. But he's banging on the door and the windows and telling, he wanted in, right? He broke a window and went into the living room trying to get in there. And of course, he got stopped. And she finally said, this is enough. She feared for her safety and the safety of her two minor children in the house, which understandable. And she did what she could. I'm sure she couldn't overpower the guy. So she shot him. And she didn't kill him. But she did defend herself in the upper right arm.
It's about defense.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. This is a great example of how your Second Amendment rights can help you. And you can defend yourself. You can even that playing field. And who knows what would have happened if this guy would have got in there. I mean, seriously, when you look at his arrest records, he's a violent individual. I bet you he isn't even allowed to have a firearm the way it looked from everything I saw on him. I mean, to me, that is the ultimate, the ultimate equalizer when you come to women empowering themselves, is being able to defend themselves when they have no other means. It's perfect.
And my friend Josette will be glad to set anybody straight who doesn't think that's the case.
That's right. I know what Joe said. She's great.
She is.
If she's listening, tell her. I hope she says, hi, Josette. Have a great weekend, because out and shoot some firearms. I'm sure she will. I know she still smokes cigars, but she used to be a cigar.
Oh, she's got that cigar place over in Mandan. You know she does.
Perfect. By the way, our Brain Bucket Challenge has been moved. It's not this weekend. It's not this Saturday, tomorrow. It's going to be moved to February 1st. And, of course, that's 11 o'clock a.m. Central Time out at the range. If you need more information, just get a hold of me and Jamie. Most of the time, everybody knows our number that is going to this. But if nothing else, you can email us at guns@gunsinthe701.com for more info. And, of course, thanks to you and thanks to KFYR and iHeart for putting us on. We appreciate it every single week.
Oh, absolutely. Always a pleasure. Clay Peterson, thank you so much. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, Todd. We'll talk to you later. I'm going to go butchering this weekend, so I got a busy weekend.
Woohoo! There you go.
Okay.
I'm butchering, too, right on the radio. I butcher everything I do. That's 8:56. Michael Bell coming up. Dakota Mornings is on the way.